yo, I never understood this concept of like there's racial fear, racial purity fear, or whatever. Like, oh, and this is something I don't think I heard this from anybody else. Maybe a fringe amount of black people, like a fringe, like stuff even we, the regular mainstream black audience, would be like, yeah, that's kind of weird, you know. But I've heard this from like one too many white people, and maybe that's a fringe idea on them. But I've seen it online, so you know, take that for what you will. But I've heard like this idea, even from like stuff from South Park. They're like, oh, well, if we don't kind of have some sort of divisiveness, we're all going to look the same. And I thought to myself, like, I had to critically think about that. I thought that's kind of dumb. I'm sorry. People will naturally be around what's similar to them. So why, if that's the case, why isn't Africa like that? Why isn't China like that? Why isn't Russia like that? They aren't, because people are going to gravitate toward what's familiar to them. You'll get a little bit. If American integration happened far sooner and the Reconstruction era happened, you might have a little bit of that, like a higher rate of mixed kids. But most of the cases, people are generally okay being around themselves. If you hear white individuals, I think it's like 0.5% of white people getting with black women. I'm like, and I'm not entirely sure on the opposite end. But what my point is just like the concept of interracial or integration is it's like something that happens, but it's like not something that's like enforced, you know. It's like, oh, if I find somebody, I found somebody. But in most cases, you're gonna find somebody that's around you. And then if you can't really do that, then you might consider somebody else. But yeah, this concept of racial purity is kind of dumb. Like back in the day, kings are really about racial purity or royal purity, and then it got so bad where they was like having Down syndrome and a bunch of mutations and sicknesses that could have easily been solved with genetic diversity, which is, you know, biology kind of disagrees with me, and kind of disagrees with the concept of racial purity, because having too much racial purity and not enough variation, even amongst a group, is just going to cause issues, you know. Hence why this is another fringe example, but this is kind of like an allegory to humans, where they have these breeders, these dogs, and then they kind of interbreed them with like their own. Some of them will interbreed them. I think some of them will interbreed them within the family, but they want like certain attributes and stuff like that. And these pure dogs start having issues, complications, because they don't have enough genetic diversity to strengthen their bodies. And hence why you see like a lot of mutts out here, and they're doing quite fine. They have enough genetic diversity to deal with all types of stuff. Like, let's say one racial group has this benefit, the other racial group has this benefit. You know, it's just like, okay, the stronger your genes, you'll have a lot more to work with. You have a lot more genetic diversity to handle different problems and environments. So even if worse comes to worse, and we all look like a certain thing, which again, I don't think that's going to be realistically possible in the foreseeable future, it's only going to be a good thing for humanity if you think biologically. But because people are so concerned with optics and how people look, and they really, really praise and glorify colors on somebody's body versus the content of the character or who they are and stuff like that, they're terribly afraid. They're so afraid that all of humanity is not going to look like them, and I just think that's goofy. You know, I'm like, I guess that's it.